Okay, so we have another Invisible Man movie to review. Let's just hope it's as good as the original.
The Visible Man returns, being released January 12th, 1940. And no, the original Visible Man does not return. Instead, this movie stars Vincent Price, who was wrongfully accused of murder, so he has turned invisible to find the killer, while he also has to deal with going mad.
Anyway, let's get into the movie. I'm looking forward to this.
Anyway, the movie begins with Radcliffe being blamed for his brother's death.
Though I'm pretty positive he doesn't even have a motive for killing his brother, so yeah, I'm pretty positive that that jury is rigged.
As everyone who knows Radcliffe knows that he couldn't have done it, but when they look away from him in the prison, he's gone, as the brother of Griffin was in the room beforehand.
Meaning that Radcliffe was given the serum to turn him into the Invisible Man. And yes, this does make sense that Griffin's brother was able to recreate the serum because, one, he's Griffin's brother, and two, yeah, of course Griffin left his notes.
As one of the cops knows about Griffin's brother, so he suspects that Griffin turned Radcliffe invisible.
Oh, and they got Griffin's name wrong. His name in the first movie was Jack Griffin, not John Griffin.
Anyway, Radcliffe goes to see his wife, as he's looking like Griffin did in the original as they talk.
Though he might want to look for his brother's killer soon, because, yeah, if he doesn't, he won't be able to clear his name. And if he does go insane, he's probably going to go to jail anyway, so, yeah, it's best to look for him sooner rather than later.
But he thinks the same thing that I did, as he's going to rest up, as he tells his wife if he goes crazy, to chain him down.
Which might be a little bit hard to do if he's invisible during the time that you're trying to capture him.
Anyway, Griffin is looking for a cure, but no luck just yet, as Radcliffe feels bad that he might go insane and hurt others, but there's a cop there looking for Radcliffe, so he has to get away. Anyway, Radcliffe goes to see Griffin as he needs some of Radcliffe's blood, but luckily he's able to find a vein. Anyway, a tunnel worker goes to see Griffin and tells him that he's gonna get vacation, but Griffin won't do it, as to get revenge, Radcliffe screws his car, but he won't be able to repair it.
You can't repair it, Mr. Spears.
And yeah, Radcliffe is going insane, but I can't really blame him. I mean, I'd probably enjoy screwing with that dude too. He looks like a dick.
But he pretends to be a ghost and screws around with him, but lets him go, as he says that Cobb probably did it, but when he gets home, Radcliffe is still there and knocks him out, but Radcliffe has to confront the man, of course him fucking with him.
What are you hiding? Perhaps that will show you where your friend is hiding. Sit down.
Wow, he's a lot more calm than Griffin was in the original.
Sit down!
Though it may have been because by the time the movie started, Griffin was invisible for a while at that point.
As Radcliffe knows Cobb killed his brother, so Cobb is gonna need to kill him. So they're gonna need to find him, but since it's raining, Radcliffe is visible, but he is smart enough to dress up as a policeman.
Which, yeah, was a smart idea, but yeah, if you're dealing with an invisible man, make sure that your men have clothes that show some skin so that you can tell they're not invisible.
Anyway, Radcliffe is in a good mood and wants to celebrate, as he's gonna kill Cobb later, as right now, he feels free, and he feels power.
Gives one a sense of power that's exciting. Power for good, if you're so inclined. Or should you feel perverse, for evil.
And while I do prefer Claude Rains as the Invisible Man, Vincent Price does a really damn good job. I think almost as good. Hell, some people can argue that he does a better job than Claude Rains, but that's under debate. It's just dependent on your preference, but I prefer Claude Rains to Vincent Price. So Vincent Price does a great fucking job.
It makes me king! It makes me nemesis!
Anyway, Radcliffe doesn't trust him anymore, but for good reason, I guess, because Griffin drugged his drink.
Which is understandable, he is going a little mad.
Anyway, Griffin ties Radcliffe up as he understands, and Griffin wants to know the evidence that Radcliffe has on Cobb, as it seems like he's saying again.
Jeff! No! Jeff! Jeff! No!
But no, he's not.
As, because of that, Radcliffe escapes, but that's probably a good thing because the police are there.
So either way, you would have needed to let him go.
But he gives Cobb a little visit as he goes to take Cobb hostage.
But please, I...
And the man isn't very inconspicuous. He's pretty crappy at lying there, but understandably, because, yeah, he does have a gun to his back.
But Cobb and Radcliffe are able to leave, so when they get to the tunnel worker's house, he's still there tied up, as he says that Cobb did it.
He promised me money and a good position if I kept my mouth shut. I can't.
Yeah, you might want to cut the rope, because if you don't, you're kind of fucked.
Anyway, the fight goes outside onto a mine track, as there's some coal that falls. It seems like Radcliffe could have died.
But he can't be dead just yet, because the killer hasn't been put to justice yet.
I killed Michael.
Oh, wow, he admitted to it. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, maybe he wasn't as bad of a guy as I thought he was. I mean, he still was a piece of shit. He framed Radcliffe and killed his brother, but still not as bad of a guy, I guess.
Anyway, Griffin takes the clothes off a scarecrow and has a conversation with it.
Slender waist you've got. Not a bad fit, my friend.
Which is a nice, calm scene. I mean, maybe you call Radcliffe a bit mad because he is talking to a scarecrow, but still, it's a nice scene. I mean, Radcliffe is planning on turning himself in, which is a good decision because if he doesn't turn himself in, he's 1, gonna die, and 2, gonna go mad.
I'm really freezing. Thanks.
But since Griffin was hurt, they're gonna need to fix him up, but yeah, there's an issue of him being invisible. Oh well, Radcliffe is dying and Griffin hasn't found a cure yet, but it turns out that transfusing blood into Radcliffe's body is the antidote.
And I'm not sure why they didn't work on Griffin in the original movie. I mean, actually, maybe it did. Maybe they did give him a transfusion. That's what made him visible after he died, but it didn't take effect until after he died.
But oh well, Radcliffe is gonna live, and he's innocent, so everything is gonna be happy.
Anyway, though, that was The Invisible Man Returns, and it was great, but I preferred the original.
But you can debate this movie's better than the original, but I prefer the original myself. I do like to see Radcliffe slowly go bad. Beginning the movie is more of a soft-spoken person than yelling about him having power, compared to the original where Griffin was invisible for a while and already was mad. And Vincent Price does a great job in the role, but personally, I prefer Claude Rains. Just his voice, he talks so badass, and I liked how he said things. But Vincent Price still does a great job, and I really loved him in the role. And overall, I really loved this movie. It's great. It's not as good as the original, but it's a worthy sequel. It's a fun time, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna give The Invisible Man Returns a 5 out of 5.
Power for good, if you're so inclined. Or should you feel perverse, for evil.
Anyway, next week we're reviewing a movie that was originally intended to be a review for Season 4, but yeah, it got delayed. But luckily I already have the script done, so I have to do less work for this one. So anyway, next week we'll be doing that. See you then.